Hi, I'm Alan Goldstein, enrolled agent, and today we're going to talk to you about statutes of limitations and certain situations where the statute of limitations never expire. With me today is Peter Gonzalez. He's also an enrolled agent here with us, and he's going to be asking me some of the questions that some clients have asked, and then I'm going to hopefully be answering them for you. Go ahead, Peter.
All right, thank you, Alan. Alan, what is assessment and collection of taxes on return executed by the Secretary of the Treasury?
Okay, those are a lot of big words. So in other words, a return that is executed by the Secretary, what is the statute of limitation? In simple terms, that is called the substitute for return. It simply means you did not file your tax return. The Secretary or the IRS filed a return on your behalf, and basically the question is, does that return expire? And the answer is no. Section 6501 is clear on that, and it says that a return that the Secretary or the IRS files, it's not an actual return for the purpose of the law, so therefore it will never expire unless you contact a professional like us and we create an actual return and we file it. Then the statute of limitation clock starts counting. Until then, they can come back to you and assess at any time. So to answer your question, there is no statute of limitations on returns that the Secretary of Treasury has filed on your behalf, or also known as the IRS.
Alan, filing by the taxpayer of a false or fraudulent return with an intent to evade taxes.
Right. If you file a fraudulent return with the intent to evade taxes, besides the criminal implications that it may have and all that, which is beyond the scope of this, there is no statute of limitation. You file a fraudulent return, especially if it's for the purpose of evading taxes, there is no statute of limitation. The IRS can come back after you with no problems whenever they want to.
Another question is, willful attempting to defeat or evade income taxes.
Right. That's another question. You know, what happens if you willfully attempt to evade taxes? Willfully, you have to define willfully, and the standard is very low to define willfully. In other words, it's very easy to prove willfully. And in these cases, when you have a tax return that the IRS, Secretary of Treasury, has proven that willfulness, in those particular cases, then there is no statute of limitations on that return. And again, it will cause you problems because they can come after you and execute on that return, penalties, interest, or whatever the case may be, and it will not stop. In other words, it will never end. There's no 10-year statute of limitation, nothing. So it's best to make a return that's a true reflection of your financial situation for tax purposes.
Another question we get, taxpayer files a fraudulent return and later files a non-fraudulent amended return for that tax year.
Absolutely. That's a common question, which means I filed a fraudulent return, but now you caught me, or you didn't catch me, but now I decided to file an actual return. You know, what happens with the statute of limitation? Well, in those particular cases, there is no statute of limitation. Again, they can come after you for any amount of time. And you might say, oh, but I did the right thing. I filed the correct one. Yeah, but after the fact. The initial one was fraudulent, inaccurate, whatever you want to say, and now you filed the correct one. Well, there's no statute of limitation on that, and they can come after you.
Another question is, failure of a taxpayer to file a return.
Yes, that's the last question regarding this. If you fail to file a return, there is no statute of limitation. You haven't filed a return, how could there be a statute of limitation? There's nothing that starts the clock of statute of limitation, so it's not going to expire. So what that means is that until you file a return, Remember, even if the Secretary of Treasury, the IRS, files a substitute for return or return on your behalf, and you did not file a return, it's the same thing. Nothing is going to expire because you never filed the return. So all of these are clear on Section 6501, that it tells you that there is no statute of limitation in these cases. If you have any of these situations and you need professional help, you can call myself, you can call Peter, call us here at the office at 786-592-2476. We serve clients nationwide. It doesn't matter where you live. And you can visit our website at taxliennotice.com, or you can call us at 786-592-2476. Thank you.